So we're not going to need, this was originally scheduled. Normally every month it's scheduled for 3 hours. We're not going to need 3 hours today. This isn't going to take that long. But don't let that fool you. The impact this can have on your business is totally revolutionary, and it doesn't cost much. It is probably the highest ROI on any marketing we've done in a very long time, because you can do this yourself. You can do it in, got it, 10 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day. It does not take very long, and the cost is dirt cheap. So let's talk about what you can use this for, and I'll show you how to do it. We may not even need all 2 hours. You can send cold email to prospects you do not know and land in their inbox. This will also help you get very high open rates. It will generate new leads. If you're driving traffic to a video, if you're driving traffic to a webinar, an online presentation, this will drive traffic to that. If you're driving traffic to, let's say, an appointment funnel, if you're trying to get appointments, this will drive, you can use this for that. I'm going to show you some examples. So this is one of the first ones we did. This is the dashboard of the software that we will be teaching you. I don't own it. I'm not an affiliate. I don't get paid any money for recommending it. I'm just sharing with you what's working really well for us right now. So this was a campaign we did for a software as a service company. So it's a SaaS company, and it is a software as a service company in the home services contracting space. So the story behind this company is this guy is a water restoration contractor. So if you have a fire, if you have a flood, they're the ones who come fix your house. He was so frustrated with that business and what the solutions available to him, he built a software program that ran the entire business, unlike anything that existed in the industry, and it took off. So what we did for this example is we bought a cold list of home service contractors, and we used a brand new email address and used what I'm about to teach you to market to them. Now, normally you can't send cold email to a bought or purchased list. Technically, that's spam, right? I'm not a lawyer. I don't play one on TV. But if you were to do that, historically, you get a very, very low open rate because they don't know you, right? They don't recognize their email service provider doesn't recognize your domain. They don't recognize your email address, and they don't open your email, and you land in promotions or spam. In this case, this was the first one we did. You will see he got a 14.1% open rate. That is ridiculously good on cold email. Now, the next one we did was promoting a webinar. This was one of our financial advisors who is promoting an event for personal injury attorneys. Also a cold list. You will see the open rate is 50.3%. That is not only ridiculously good for cold email, that's ridiculously good for warm email. When I send an email to all of our database, I don't get a 50% open rate, and you all know me. He got a 50.3% open rate on a cold email to strangers and a 5.4%, 86 clicks for that event, which is, and 29 people physically replied, 86 clicked the link to go register for the Zoom. The next one is one we sent on my behalf, where I went to a cold list that I had bought and said, hey, want to be a guest on my podcast? I got a 53.9% open rate to cold traffic. 270 people manually replied. It worked too well. That podcast is now booked solid for like the next 4 months. And I didn't even get back to everybody. So don't do that. You can also use this to reactivate a dead list. So let's say you have an email list that isn't responding, right? Your open rates have dropped over the years. Your click-through rates have dropped. It isn't converting the way it used to. It's not moving the needle the way it used to. You can use this to get back in their inbox, get it opened, and get it responded to. You can also use this to improve response to an existing list. So if you get 20% response rate, 20% open rate to your normal emails, that means 80% of those people aren't opening your email. You can use this to get a lot more of them to see it, open it, and respond. So for those of you who have your lists in a software provider like MailChimp or Constant Contact or Infusionsoft, I exported my list from Infusion. I imported it into this and I started sending with this. And I don't even want to give you the number because I don't want to set your expectations that high, but I almost tripled my open rate because it was landing in their inbox, not spam, and they were opening it. So I want to give you the caveats first. Number one, this only works with Gmail. It is a specific plugin and a specific process for Gmail. So you need a Gmail or Google Workspace email account. Number two, if you already have a Gmail or Google account, don't use it. For example, if you have a YouTube channel and you have a Google account tied to that YouTube channel, like I have thousands of videos on my YouTube channel, don't use that Gmail account because there is the risk if you do this wrong, you could get shut down. I did this wrong the first 2 times I did it, and I'm going to teach you how not to do that, how to avoid that mistake. The first email we did for that software as a service provider, I did it wrong, and his Google account got shut down in 2 days. Now, I also had that with one of my Gmail accounts. I have a bunch of them, 2 or 3 that I use on a regular basis. Thankfully, the one I got shut down was not tied to my YouTube channel. So if you have a Gmail account that you've had for a while, but you're not using it, it's not connected to anything, that will work. Or you could start a new one, which is probably the safer option. It takes longer to warm up a new Gmail account. And I'm going to talk to you about how to do that in a new solution we just found for that. For those of you who've seen some of this before, like literally in the last 2 days. The other issue is if you use a primary Gmail account, you may clog up your inbox. So for example, when I showed you these stats, this one got 270 replies. That means I had 270 emails in my inbox. So if you were using your primary Gmail that like you use for work every day, you're going to miss emails from, let's say, clients or people who use that email to talk to you because you're going to hopefully have so many replies. So don't use your primary Gmail. Use a different one if you've got one. If not, we're going to set up a new one. It'll just take you longer. If you have a Gmail account that you need, don't use that one. Use something you can afford to lose. We're going to teach you how to avoid that, but I can't promise we'll be successful because it's new. So you are going to start a new one or a new Google Workspace account. Once you warm up the account, I'll tell you the difference. If you use a free Gmail account, once it's warm, you'll be able to send 500 cold emails a day. So your prospect list could be 500 people. You could hit all in one day and be done, right? So that might be all you need. Or if you were emailing Monday through Friday, 5 days a week, 25 days, 20 days a month, that's 10,000 emails. That may be plenty. You may not need more than that. If you do a Google Workspace account and you pay the $12 a month, once it's warmed up, you could send 2,000 emails a day. So if you have a much larger list to the point where 10,000 emails a month wouldn't be enough to reach it all, then I would suggest starting with Google Workspace, the paid version. Now, you cannot sign up for what we're about to do. The day you create a new Gmail, you'll get shut down. You have to warm up, or a new Google Workspace account, you have to warm them up. So we have been, once I got shut down twice, I did some research and I figured out how to warm it up through manual labor, and I'm going to teach you an automation later. But the manual labor I have been doing is I have been taking my new Gmail and sending 10 emails a day to people I actually know. So for example, in our marketing firm, we create a new Gmail address for every client that we use for them. So we might have hundreds of Gmail accounts that don't get used very much. So I am going from my new Gmail and sending 10 emails to those fake Gmail accounts every day. Hey, how's it going? Hey, checking up on you. Hey, what's new? Just 1-sentence emails so that Google sees my new email account has activity and it's landing in it's going to an actual person and it's going into an inbox and it's not getting labeled spam. That is my way through manual labor, if you don't want to pay for it, to warm up a Gmail or Google Workspace account. It's not a real email. I'm not really trying to talk to anybody. It's a test to show Gmail you are sending manual emails and they're getting through, and it's a legit email account. What I've found, and I've only done it a couple times, so for a couple accounts, so I don't have specific data. I don't know if this is the magic number, but what I've done so far for the manual labor version is I've sent 10 emails a day for 10 days. So over 10 days, 100 emails got sent before I started doing what I'm about to do next and show you. Does that make sense? You're not, Dennis is the only one whose camera is turned on. So I'm gonna ask Dennis to nod his head if that makes sense. Okay, so Dennis will be the proxy for everybody. If it doesn't make sense, unmute yourself and ask a question. So cold email, new Gmail or new Google Workspace for $12 a month account. Send 10 emails a day for 10 days in a row to people that you know it's going to get to. Right? It could be, if you want our list of fake Gmail of Gmails, let me know. You can't use them for anything else, by the way. They're not monitored. But do it for 10 days. So you've sent 100 emails. Now, at the same, Courtney raised his hand. Courtney, do you have a question? You got to unmute. I can't hear you, Courtney.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes, now I can hear you.
Okay. We were connected to the audio. So if I have like a regular domain, could I make like a bunch of email addresses like Bob at, marketing company, Jane at marketing company, whatever, or
No.
they'll have to go to different domains?
Okay, so they don't all have to go to different domains. You do not want to use your domain. So if I am marketdominationllc.com, right, I don't want to go create 20 different people, because if I get blacklisted, if it do it wrong, or if it doesn't work, you'll lose. I mean, Google could blacklist your domain, which loses your website. Like, I would go get domains related. So for me, I might get marketdominationllc.org, marketdominationllc.net, and use that as my new domain.
Right. No, I was talking about like the test accounts, to send them to the test accounts.
Oh, that you could totally do. Yes.
Okay.
I don't know if Google will notice that they're all the same domain, or if they need, I mean, technically every single one of our client Gmails that we're using is like their name and a bunch of random numbers at gmail.com. I haven't tried it with, let's go create Seth, Bob, Jane Doe, Robert, Larry, Cliff at Market Domination LLC. So I don't know if that would work. You could try it. Let me know.
Okay. That's something else. I'll remember it later. Okay.
Okay.
My hand's coming down. I'm muting myself.
Thanks. Okay. While you're doing 10 emails a day, here's one of the things we've had success with is when you say, well, where am I? If you don't have a prospect list that you want to actively work in this method, or if you want a new list, here's one of the ways we've had really good success. We've had really good success scraping data from LinkedIn. So for example, I go into Sales Navigator, and in this particular example, I built a list of people who are in Tampa, Florida, who are in the industry of law practice or legal services. So they work at a law firm, and that law firm has between 11 to 50 people. And this got me a list of 1,500. Now, the ideal list is somewhere, the most we will be able to export from LinkedIn is 2,500. So if it's bigger than that, it won't work. So you want to, when you save your list, save it with the, hey, these are lawyers in Tampa with 11 to 50 head count. Because if, let's say this was 2,500, if I wanted to go get the next 2,500, I would then say, let's say head count 1 through 10. And now I've got a different 1,500 people. And then if I wanted to go, if I needed another one, I could go, let's go 51 through 200. Those are much bigger law firms. Now there's 1,000. Because if this list is bigger than 2,500, let's say I want everybody in Tampa in the legal industry, there's 13,000. It will export out the first 2,500. But here's the thing, if you want to get the next 2,500, there's no way to do that without manually scrolling past. Let's see if there's like 10 on each page. I'm going to have to scroll 250 pages to get to lead 2,501. You're not going to want to do that. So the way to do that is to find different factors over here, and headcount is the easiest one that will make it so your list is under 2,500. Courtney, you raised your hand again.
I did. I remembered my question, and I have another question.
Fire away.
And what I'm going to do from now on, I'm just going to hold my questions until the end, because I know it's annoying. I know the
It's all
webinar guy.
good.
Hold your questions. Hold your questions.
I'm not asking you to hold your questions. I'm fine.
I know you're not. I see extract with what are you extracting the emails with?
We're getting there.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
literally the next thing we're about to do.
Okay. Next question. That I forgot is I tried to create another Gmail account like a few days ago, and I'm running out of phone numbers to get verified. Or how do you? Because
Yep, I had the same problem.
Apparently you can't use Google Voice numbers anymore. So
no, you can't use Google Voice, and you can't use your same number over and over and over again. So the solution we came up with was, you're going to love it. Go to Walmart, spend $20, buy a burner phone. We now have a box filled with burner phones in our office storeroom for all of our Gmails. Okay. So we don't buy any more minutes. It's not there's no subscription plan. It's just, we bought we take whatever the free 100 minutes or whatever that it comes with, and we don't even dial the phone. Like, we just use it to get the text message.
Okay.
All right. Write them down if you're going to save them, so you don't forget them.
I am. Thank you.
All right. Awesome. All right. So let's pretend I've got my list of 1,500 attorneys or whoever that I want to export. And this is just a really cheap way to get a high quality list. Because if you think about it, what did you put in when you registered for LinkedIn? You put in your real email, and you might have even put in your real phone number, right? It's not like where people go sign up with Facebook with their spam, the email where everything goes to spam because they don't want to get notifications all day and they don't know how to turn them off or whatever. You put your real email into LinkedIn most of the time. So we have found a software program called EvaBoot, which is a Google Chrome extension, which will export out the data. Because LinkedIn used to allow you, I used to hit an export button and LinkedIn would give me a CSV file of all of these people and their contact information. LinkedIn no longer does that. Like, that was the reason that used to be the reason to buy Sales Navigator, was you couldn't export out a primary search. You had to manually copy and paste 2,500 people. Sales Navigator used to let you export LinkedIn leads in bulk. They don't do that anymore. So the solution that we have found is this is a Google Chrome extension called EvaBoot, EvaBoot. The actual Chrome extension is free. You only pay money to start extracting leads. When you do that, you don't want to extract only, you want their email addresses. Because if you extract only, it will give you their name. It will give you all of the data from their LinkedIn profile. So here, I'll pick on David Hauser. It would give me his name, his website, his LinkedIn profile URL. It would give me his title. It would give me his work experience. It would give me his activity. It would export everything from LinkedIn, but it wouldn't give you his email address. And we want the email address. So you want extract plus emails. And as you will see, you can get 2,000 leads a month for $50. You can get 5,000 leads a month for $100 a month. You can also buy credits by themselves without a subscription. And you can downgrade or upgrade anytime you want. So we're doing a lot of this. So we have a high level account. But if I go, you see, I still have 9,000. I'm buying 5,000 credits a month. I have 10,000 remaining. If I go to, I'll show you some of my lists, what it looks like. I have, as you see, this was the demo extraction that comes with the software. You'll see 2,000, 5,000. I've extracted about, it'll tell me 11,396 leads. So what I do in my LinkedIn search, once I have EvaBoot installed, I just hit extract with EvaBoot, and EvaBoot will give me a list. And then it'll ask me, do you want to add email addresses to that? Do you want it for all 2,500, or do you only want it for the ones we think are qualified? and then you hit a button and you wait for it to be done, and then you can export out your search. And I'll show you what that looks like. See, email leads have been added, and you can do, oh, I already did this. Hang on, I gotta go open it. Let me stop my screen share. I'm gonna open the file and show you what it looks like. Give me 2 seconds, Courtney. If you've come up with another question while I'm doing this, you can ask it. Give me 2 seconds. All right, there we go. So
I know Info USA used to be or not Info USA, it was like Info Free. They used to have data and stuff like that.
if there was a first sentence in there with a question, I missed it.
Okay. Have you tried other data aggregators like Info Free?
Oh,
if you're like doing direct mail and sometimes you get the
yes.
email address with them.
So yes, so we have, in addition to LinkedIn is just one strategy I'm sharing with you today. We have also done the same process I'm about to teach you with bought lists. So not extracted from LinkedIn, but for example, one of our list brokers that we use a lot is Exact Data. The personal injury list I showed you with the personal injury campaign that had a 50% open rate to a webinar invitation, that list was bought. We bought a list of 13,000 PI lawyers. But let me show you what an EvaBoot list looks like, because for 50 bucks, or $100, it's way cheaper than you're going to go buy from, let's say, a list broker. So it's a place to start. So for example, this is a EvaBoot spreadsheet. So when you're actually marketing to it, you're probably going to delete a lot of columns that you don't need, but first name, last name, email. Was EvaBoot able to verify whether or not the email is valid or not? So some it will say doesn't know, question mark. Some it will say valid, it was able to verify. Unknown doesn't mean floridajustice.com doesn't exist. It just means their software couldn't check it. It then gives you their position. She's a paralegal at the Accident Law Offices of Philip Dearbird. Here's the company website. Here's the company domain. Here's the prospect location, Okeechobee, Florida. Here's her LinkedIn URL, her industry, her specialties, how many employees they have, their location, how many connections she has on LinkedIn, how many years she's been in the company, the company LinkedIn URL, what year the company was started, the company description, the stuff from her profile. Is she open to work? Is she a premium LinkedIn member? Does she have a profile picture? So it gives you everything from LinkedIn. And then what you're going to do next is you have to be signed into your Gmail account, your new Gmail account. And then you would go to Google Sheets, because the software that's going to do the cold emailing is going to extract your data from a Google Sheet. So you would have to go to Google Sheets, and you're going to make a new Google Sheet and paste in your list. So in this case, I'll show you an existing one that's already running, where I took first name, last name, company name, and email, and I took all that data from the list and pasted it into my Google Sheet. And you will see as the software will verify the emails, pass, fail, and then it will tell you, did they open it? Did they click it? Did it bounce? Did they reply back? So this is happening in real time, and literally I have emails going out every day, every Monday through Friday. So you need to make a separate Gmail, a separate Google Sheet, and I'll show you why in just a second. So separate Gmail, separate Google Sheet, where all your prospect data is going to go, whether you extracted it from LinkedIn with EvaBoot, or whether you bought a list, or whether you have an existing list. I made a Google Sheet of my MailChimp list. I exported the Excel file, I pasted it into Google Sheets, and I have my new Gmail account emailing that list. Now, the software that makes the magic work is also ridiculously cheap. It is something called GMass. gmass.co. So remember, you're emailing 10 people a day for 10 days to warm up your new Gmail account. While you're doing that, you're getting your list ready, whether you have it already, whether you're buying it, whether you're extracting it from LinkedIn. And then on day 11, you're signing up for Gmass, which is the software, which is like 20, 30 bucks a month. It's dirt cheap. It's a Chrome extension, which you have to add to Chrome, and it will tell you how to do that. And then you're going to create your email campaign. So I will show you how to do that. Hang on one second. So you go into Google, into your Gmail, and hit compose, like you're writing an email. And now, because you have the plugin, you will see Gmass, a Gmass button at the bottom. You're not pushing that button, but you know you installed the plugin if it shows up. So here is my email. This is driving to a webinar on December 1st. Hey, join us on join #1 bestselling author and estate planning attorney Stan Miller on our webinar, virtual lunch and learn how to cut and paste a simple email and generate new leads and cases for your financial services practice. Blah, 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 blah. No securities license required, register here. So there's my email. You will notice it says first name or friend, and you will notice the list it's going to, it says 5768 recipients, big, whatever. I was able to do all of that because of my magic Gmass plugin. So I can personalize any field from my Google Sheet. So I can say, dear first name, I can put their firm name, their company name. I can say, how are things going at ABC company? And it'll know because it'll merge the data from your Google Sheet. I want to track my open and click-through rates. My action is send emails. My schedule, this is really important. I am skipping weekends. Google apparently doesn't like weekends. I am pausing in the beginning. When you first launch your first Gmass campaign, you're going to start at like 25 a day. You're going to tell it to send 25 emails a day. And you're going to tell it to pause 1 to 5 minutes between every email. Because a normal human wouldn't send out 25 emails, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, right? It'd be throughout the day. Now I'm at 300. I've worked this account up to 300 emails a day. So I'm pausing a minute between each email. So that is taking me, so it takes 5 hours this way to send 300 emails. As that number grows, I'm going to decrease the pause rate. Now, something important is you want to set your reply to address is to where the auto reply, the replies, the out of office replies go. You can set it to a different email address. So you could literally make it send all the bounce back out of office replies to an email address you don't check. You very important want to click the verify emails before sending button. So if it can't verify the email, it won't send, which is good because if you get too many messages blocked or too many messages land in spam, Google will shut down your account. I learned that one the hard way. The other thing it does that's super cool that I wouldn't do until after your account is really cranking is you can have it do automated follow-up. So literally I can say every day, I can say if people don't reply for 2 days, send them another message. And I can specify what they send. I can say if they don't reply after 5 days, if they don't reply after 8 days, I can keep sending automated follow-up emails to the people who don't reply. Don't do that in the beginning. After your account is at like 500 a day, you could do that. But it's super cool because I've gotten a lot of people who replied to the follow-up. The little, hey, just want to make sure you saw this. Hey, moving this to the top of your inbox. We've all gotten those, but they actually work. And then when I go to decide where I want the email to go, I click this little red icon, and then I pick my Google Sheet of where I'm emailing. And that's how it merges the name field, the company field, the email field. Does that make sense so far? Ask me a question. when you go to when you go to create your first email and you hit that GMass button when it's ready to send, it will then say, hey, your free account only lets you send like 5 or 10 a day or whatever, punch in your credit card. There's 2 different versions of GMass. There's like, here, I'll tell you what the pricing is. Here, let me pull it up. So there are 3 levels of GMass pricing. $19 a month. Doesn't let you do follow-up emails. So if you don't care about the follow-up, you don't need it. You could upgrade later after your account was warmed up. There's the $30 a month, which comes with everything. And then the enterprise one, which I honestly know hundreds of other features. I don't know that anybody actually needs at this point. Hang on, I got a typed question. Could have really used this after my car crash. Larry, what do you mean by that? Can you unmute? Or we'll come back to Larry.
The lawyer thing.
Oh, so in this case, you could have used this to get a lawyer, or you could have used this because, okay. That's funny. I didn't think about using it as a consumer. That's interesting.
Yeah, somebody, going through several different law firms trying to find somebody to take a case and then waiting like 2 to 3 weeks without any reply,
That's actually a really good idea. I've only thought about it on the business to business marketer side. I hadn't thought about it on the I'm going to get somebody's attention to get them to help me side. You could totally do that.
Yeah, because the State Bar Association is completely useless.
Very true. All right, let's keep going. So when you first install GMass, I would start by sending like 10 a day. Increase it by 10, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 until you get to 100 a day. Then I would start going up by 25 a day until you get to the 500 a day, which is the max on a free Gmail account. If you're doing Google Workspace and you're paying the $12 a month, eventually you can get to 2,000 a day. Now, I was going to put everybody in a breakout room, but we've got enough people that we could just do it here. So I'm going to open it up and let's just go around the room and unmute yourself, and I'll call on you one at a time and we can talk about ways you could use this in your business. So I'm going to take the spotlight off of myself. And here, you know what, Courtney, you've had the most questions. Let's start with you.
My name's Courtney Koslecki.
Yep.
Yep. I do a lot of work with chiropractors, but I also am working more in the entrepreneur space and businesses with webinars, helping people create a webinar, optimize their offer, and get the webinar launched.
Awesome. So in that case, you could use this if you had, let's say, a list of those people. This could easily be a way to generate a whole lot of leads.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see, Mr. Robert.
Hi, Seth. I'm a business consultant with a very large company that has 11 divisions. And we have recently set up a whole marketing toolkit that goes into scripting, landing pages, email, blogs, and all of that. So it's fairly, new process, but the company is not charging the advisors for it. And so they have developed over the last 20 years, these 11 divisions, and they're tweaking the divisions on a quarterly basis and using algorithms and stuff that qualify the businesses for local, state, and federal government incentives and tax credits. So very, very interesting company. They spend their money up front they are only paid if we find results in savings and benefits for the business. And
Okay.
so yeah, they're they've got kind of three. They got warm leads, cold leads, and then a combination of all three or two. So I'm trying to, master the toolkit right now.
So who is your ideal customer? Are you an internal in that you're serving the other business advisors, or are you external in that you're trying to get clients for your part of the business or whatever?
Yeah, we're looking for strategic partners and alliances, as well as team members that want to add our platforms and services to their core business. So we're trying to work with tax professionals, business attorneys, commercial realtors, anybody that's doing the B2B marketplace.
Okay, so for example, you could use this to go, you could go extract or buy a list of accountants from LinkedIn or buy one, and then you could use this program to email those accountants at scale after your account was warmed up, and use this to generate relationships and get you in the door with accountants.
Correct, right.
Awesome. Do you have any questions about how that would work?
No, I mean, this is very interesting because, if you don't do it the right way with LinkedIn, you're going to be frozen out. So, so again, the limitations on how many emails you can send on a daily basis and so on. So,
Absolutely. Very important to be kosher.
correct.
All right. So then let's see who's next here. Gary, how about you? Gary, can you chime in? You're not muted.
Barry or Gary?
Gary, Gary, Gary Roy. All right. Well, if Gary's not talking in that case, how about Larry?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, tell me a little bit about your business.
Well, I'm trying to start up a car crash I talked about there, left me disabled. And I'm trying to do that work from home and internet marketing. And there's a big field there. And I think this would be really helpful. Seems like a customer relationship management software.
I'm sorry, you have customer relationship, you're marketing?
No, I'm saying this would be, replace what I had seen before, a customer relationship management system.
Got it. I mean, okay, so this isn't CRM in the sense that it's logging or managing or doing anything with, so it's sending the email.
Right.
And then, so this is a traffic driver.
Right. Get me more customers at least.
Yes, it would get you more customers, more leads. Yes, that is its purpose.
That's all I got.
All right, fair enough. Okay. Cliff, are you with us? You are muted.
Hi, it's Cliff. Let's see, I have a new program out. I'm co-founder of an M&A Hyper Accelerator program. It is a global program. It's out of INSEAD, which is one of the universities. Most of us are in the US, but it would be known very well in the EU. Target market is private equity and venture capital firms, and they're looking to help their portfolio companies sell their company. And that's what the educational program's for. So the lead generation is critical to stimulate interest and enroll students.
Awesome. So, for example, we have an email list of private equity and venture capital firms we use to promote the podcast.
Mhm.
And we've done that through MailChimp. But we could dramatically increase our results by exporting that out and sending it this way. And in addition to getting more podcast guests and driving more of them to listen to it, we could certainly use this to generate leads for that program.
Fantastic. Looking forward to that.
Awesome. Let's see. Lawrence says lawyers about printer copier. Oh, that's right. You're doing your saving them a bunch of money thing for law firms. They need at least 3 printers, headcount recommendation. So it's not on LinkedIn on the extraction part. It's not a specific, I'm not saying that a 1 to 10 law firm couldn't be a good fit for you. They might not have enough printers. You're using the headcount factor to sort the list, because remember, we want less than 2,500 at a time. So if I go back, just real quick review, if I go back to here where I've got 13,000 legal professionals in Tampa, I can't export out 13,000. I need to narrow that down to 2,500 at a pop. So 1 through 10 law firm gets me 1,500. 11 through 50 gets me another 1,500. And if you look at shows you on the left-hand side how many people are in each category. 51 through 200 person gets me another 1,000. So I can't extract more than 2,500 at a time. So it's not that there's a magic headcount number for anybody's business here. It's I need it to get the number down to 2,500 or less so I can actually extract out the entire list. Lawrence, does that make sense? Does that kind of answer that question in the chat? Can you answer me in the chat if that makes sense?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Actually, I wanted to know what is the ideal number for, like, because they have to have at least $1,500 worth of cost for laser printers. So I'm wondering, a small law firm, a large law firm, what? Because I can actually extract the exact number from different states or different cities and get a large enough list.
Okay, so I am not an expert in the law, how many printers law firms have. So I honestly wouldn't know. My guess, I would think 11 through 50, because 1 through 10, I mean, you may get a lot of solo practitioners who just have 1 printer. 11 through 50, I'm thinking they're probably, I would try 11 through 50 and give it a shot, and we'll find out. I honestly don't, I'm guessing, I don't know.
Thank you.
No problem. All right. Dennis.
Yes, sir. Well, you kind of know our model, so
I know, but everybody else doesn't, so I'm gonna
yeah,
let you tell them.
So we are going after 401k custodians or businesses that have 401ks. Many times they are signing off on the 5500 form, which means they are liable as a fiduciary for the plan. And a lot of these plans have pretty low, what we would call a score. And we're targeting those with lower scores, which very likely means that they are also signing off on the 5500, which means they have huge liabilities. So our first attack is hitting them with a registered mail piece. And then we're following up with email. And we were able to do that on a larger basis. So I'll email, my list of 1,500 probably over the next month or two. But we're only mailing about 100 pieces a month, certified mail. So we can't hit them all at one time, but they're going to see us and then see us and then see us and then get the letter. And, hopefully that will come to fruition where we'll get some leads. So
Yes. So for
full
those of you,
faceted attack.
yes. So for those of you who might have missed any of that, yes, we are sending on Dennis' behalf and all the advisors in that program. We are using this software to cold email market business owners about the issues on their 401k plan to generate leads. Can the software be used like an autoresponder of 8 messages? I know you can do, let's go find out. I know here, I'll share my screen again. I know you can do at least 3 follow-ups. I've never tried to go past 3. Let's go find out how many follow-ups you can do. Hang on. Because you can change the email each time. 1, stage 2, stage 3. Is there a stage 4? There is a stage 4. How many stages can I do? Stage 5. So it forwards the body of the original email, and you can change what goes on top of that. 6, 7. Okay, so yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to keep clicking forever, but yes, it looks like there's at least 8 you could do at least 8 follow-ups over time. You can't change the whole email every time and have it be automated, but you can change, like, there'll be hey, wanted to make sure you got this, and then there's a line, and then there's the original email. So you can't create a sequence of 8 different emails, but you can absolutely create a couple sentences above the email or a paragraph. I don't know how, I mean, I haven't tried to put like a whole email above the email, but you could certainly do it. You could certainly do a multi-step series of messages.
I use Read Notify to verify that somebody actually received my email. I'm just wondering if this software does anything like that.
Does it tell you, you're asking if it tells you who read it? So here, oh, I forgot. There's some stuff to show. There's some bells and whistles. So this is what your GMass dashboard will look like. So I can see this campaign got a 60.8% open rate.
You're not sharing your screen.
Oh, it says you're sharing your screen. I'll do it again. Let's try again. Now can you see it?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so in this case, there were no clicks. I asked people to reply if they were interested in being on my podcast, and got 509 replies, hence clogging my inbox, which is a wonderful problem, by the way. But if I go through it, I am wondering takes me to my report. So it lets me see each person who opens, clicks, unsubscribes. The question is, can I export the data? Because I haven't tried that. I honestly don't know.
Click on one of the opens.
Haha, yes, you can. There you go. So that answers your question. Yes, I can go download everybody who opens it. I can download everybody who clicks it and see which link they clicked. I did. Thank you. Thank you for asking that. I did not think of that. I learned something new today. So this is what your GMash dashboard looks like. Like this one is over. This one is running right now. Again, you can see the reporting. You can see everybody who opened, clicked, bounced, etc. One of the things I am doing is I am then going in my Google Sheet and I am saying sort by, I'm going in the bounced column, sort, and then I go delete the people whose emails bounced. So that the next time I email through the list, I don't email the bounced people. Because we want Google to see the cleaner our list is, the more people that it gets to, the better. If you have too many bounces, again, then you run the risk of getting in trouble with Google. Something else I'm experimenting with right now is I found another Chrome extension that automatically warms up your new Gmail account. So you don't have to manually copy and paste and send manual emails to warm it up. Now, I've only been running it for 24 hours. I literally just found it. So I can't speak to if it's efficacy or not. It is called LemWarm, LEM-warm.com. It's made by the people who make LemPod for LinkedIn and LemList. But LemWarm, you open your Gmail account, you create a new Gmail account, you put it in here, and they have 20,000 email addresses. of all their users who have agreed to get campaigns from mail from each other to warm up each other's email addresses. So I think in the last 24 hours, it has sent, it started with 10 a day. Interesting that it did the same thing that I amateurly made up, but I'm imagining that's going to grow, but it's automatically doing that. It's lem warming me by, so I don't have to manually send emails. I don't know how long it takes before it tells me I'm warm. We're going to find out. I'll report back to you.
I've
But-
used it. I've used it. It works fine.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. Okay, so then forget what I said about manually emailing 10 people a day that you know it will get through. Just use LemWarm, pay whatever the $10 a month or whatever it is, and automate your process. I was waiting to see if this worked.
Have you tried other stuff like Lemlist or Mailshake compared to GMass?
I haven't.
Okay.
I have now, so I found LemPod because I ended up reading the book by the guy who founded it and grew it to 150 million bucks. I'm not even halfway through the book, and I immediately stopped reading the book and went and signed up for LemPod, which I'm using on LinkedIn. Really, really been having too much fun with. But I haven't gotten to the others yet. So in my example here, I'll show you my LemPod from yesterday. If I go click on LemPod, I have my post from yesterday, which was driving to a webinar, 590 views. I normally don't get that many. 185 engaged people. Yeah, look at those are all the people. So it gets you a whole lot more visibility because it automatically takes all the people in the LemPods and interacts with your post on their behalf so that the LinkedIn algorithm sees, oh my God, look at all these people. We'll show it to more people. So I haven't used Lemlist yet.
What can you explain a little bit more what LemPod is? Is that like when you got like a bunch of people? So like with Facebook, one of the things that I do is I've got like a group of 20 to 30 people say, hey, I made a post. Can you comment? And it just opens it up to more friends. Is that what LemPod does, except with LinkedIn?
Yes. So for example, here, I'll go show you where are my pods.
And can I extract a list of like my existing emails from my contacts in LinkedIn right now? So I've got like 2,000 chiropractor connections. Can I use something and extract those emails or?
Yes. So you could do in Sales Navigator.
Okay.
So here, I'll do another new search. Hang on. 2 questions. Let me do one at a time.
Yep.
They're going to
Appreciate it. Thank you.
lead filters, or account. And then, no, where do I want? Connection. I want all of my first degree connections. I want everybody, I'm going to say in the United States. I'm being geographically biased. But there is I have 13,000, so it's not perfect. Oh, so I must have 2,000 international connections. So there's my 11,000, and then I could extract that with EvaBoot.
Okay.
And then you had a second, what was the other question?
It was about LemPod, how it kind of works.
Oh, yeah, sorry. So LemPod, you can create your own LinkedIn engagement pod. And then what will happen is everybody who agrees to be in your LinkedIn LemPod, anytime when I make a post using the app, it will then automatically have their accounts like it, share it, view it, and comment on it. And I can specify what they say. You can join, I think it's $5 a month per pod. So for example, this pod right now, I'll go get. So this is the biggest one I'm in. I just started CMOs and C-level marketing leaders. There's 204 online right now, not total in the pod, just people who are on LinkedIn right now. So if I go make a post, and then I pick which pods I want, all those people have agreed by using the app that it will automatically engage. Their profiles will automatically engage with my post, which will get it much more traction. So if we go look at my previous post here, I will show, pull it up. Hang on, I'm going to stop and start sharing. So here was my post about this event. I was using it to promote an event, and 184 people again engaged with it. And some of those people, like Cliff, is in my pod, and one of the posts. So I made up 10 or 20 comments, and it will randomly cycle through people's profiles. So it's not 50 people commenting the same thing. So Cliff's profile commented awesome with a heart. Brendan's commented, thanks for sharing. Monique commented, excellent, great post. Like those are the random, I created 20, and it'll automatically give you random posts as examples. And then their accounts that have enabled posting won't just like it and view it, they will also auto post for you.
Is that kind of like a gray area with, because isn't LinkedIn like really highly against any type of automation?
It is, but as far, I mean, it's $150 million Lempod's $150 million in Lemlist, or $150 million company. So I'm sure they've got some way that they're doing it within the terms of service, because maybe it's because you agreed to do it. I'm sure there's some way that they're pulling it off, or they're gonna get shut down at some point. But I doubt with the size of the company they would have completely just totally risked it and said, oh, well, if we go get 20,000 members shut down, we're okay with that. Like,
yeah, there's one company was like Duck something. What was it? Duck Soup, I think it was. They were like doing weird LinkedIn stuff and they got shut down. But
I
yeah,
can't speak to
anyway.
that.
I know. All right. But I've got good advanced stuff for my webinar group now. Thank you.
You are welcome.
And maybe I'll even have you on as a special guest.
Hey, I would love to join you.
Well, you're in the group. Thanks, Seth.